Watching on the replay. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. Okay, give me Baba. Boy, just got back from the gym. Just got back from the gym. Took the dog for a walk. And on our content schedule today, I had planned for the deconstructed hummingbird cake that we made last week was such a hit that I figured let's play with it a little bit. And it's also Wicked Month. So I've been trying to play with like pink and pink and green themes. So I was also thinking of like bringing out the food coloring maybe and having a little fun with that. And then sorry, I'm like messing with lights as I'm talking. And also our mini heart cake concept. And so I figured I would bring all of those together. Ooh, I'm sweaty from the gym. So the idea is that today we're taking the molds. So we're going to be using these different cabinets, like not the best cabinet, but I need to figure that out for a different day. Okay, so maybe in parts, but then I'm not tall enough. I gotta put it all away at once. Oh, where's a tall, handsome man when you need him? Oh, he's uh, an hour away. That's where he is. But it's okay. It's okay. Anyways, sorry. So we're using our cute heart cake mold. But first, part of the recipe calls for ripe bananas. And I found a hack, a kitchen technique on how to ripen your banana in the oven to prepare it for the cake because we want ripe bananas. So right now I'm preheating the oven and we're gonna pop these babies in the oven at around 300. I think it's 10 to 15 minutes, and it'll get us juicy, ripe bananas. Bananas. So let me pull out the recipe that we're using. So many printouts now. So many versions of things. Okay, so we know our empty bowl is 639 grams. Pink pineapple, that's tomorrow. Actually, if you haven't hit subscribe, hit subscribe. We're going to be doing lots of fun things on the channel soon. Tomorrow is going to be pink pineapple passion glow bite. At some point, we're going to be making high protein almond mantecaditos, which is like a Puerto Rican shortbread with like a sprinkle cookie, like a Puerto Rican sprinkle cookie. Right now, I'm trying to find the recipe for the hummingbird cake. Oh, we're also making Italian wedding soup this week. Where are you? Ooh, empanadillas. We're gonna make empanadillas in December for Bakemas. We're gonna be making more chocolate chia brownie bites because people really like those. So I feel like that recipe is almost at its final stage that I can say, okay, this is the final recipe. We can print it, we can make it, we can call it part of our menu. So many recipes. This is reminding me of when I worked in an office. I mean, I still have a day job, but I work from home. and so much of it now is like digital. It's no, you be quiet. Um, but back in the day when I used to deal with printouts a lot, back when I worked at a mortgage company, we used to have like the rubber finger and tips to help with going through papers. That way you don't have to lick your finger. It's making me miss my rubber tip. Um, that sounds happy. Okay, still trying to find a hummingbird. Okay, the cocoa cloud cake. That one was very well received. So I should keep it as a keeper. This, let's turn around. Are you hummingbird? Oop, there we go, hummingbird. Okay, hummingbird, hummingbird, pineapple passion curd. Okay, cute. I found it. Awesome. Two versions of it. So let's see which version is which. Okay, there's tropical hummingbird cloud cake. The one that has the note about baking and bumping the temperature up. So whichever is the one, then raise to 340. Okay, perfect. So it's not this one. So I should get rid of this one. Okay, sorry. I made this cake a few times and there was a couple of adjustments along the way, so I want to make sure that we have the right recipe. Okay, so we have our tropical hummingbird not cloud cake. It's not a cloud cake. It's just the tropical hummingbird deconstructed cake. Deconstructed. Our cloud cakes are a different cake. Base recipe. Hush, you already got enough treats. That's enough. No. Sorry, my dog is being very demanding today, and she can't have all the treats that she wants because then we would both be in the gym every morning. Okay, so we are going to be using our little cake, our little heart cakelets. We'll prep those in a bit. Actually, because it's silicone, we don't need to prep them. It'll just pop out. Okay, so our oven should be at temperature now. We're gonna pop our two bananas in there to ripen. 10 minutes on the clock. And then let's start pulling out our ingredients and weighing them and getting them ready. And depending, let's see, 7:05, I need to start work in about 30 minutes. So I think what I might do now, I think what we're gonna do now is prep. I think what we're gonna do is just pull out ingredients, weigh them, prep them, get the banana oven riped. It needs to cool down anyways. So I think what the plan is for today is that, honey, no. I think what we're gonna do is while we hang out now in the morning is pull out the ingredients, prep them, and then I'll come back live around my lunch break around noon California time, and then we'll mix the cake then and pop it in the oven then. Ma'am, excuse you. No, I'm busy, and you already got treats. I gave you your treats already. Okay, we need cake flour, oat flour. Oh, okay, let's pull out the things that need to come up to room temperature. Actually, that's perfect because things have to come to room temperature anyways. So let's start pulling out our butter and eggs and milk. Milk. Eggs, butter, and milk. Now, take a moment and very gently, because Plasma taught me that we have to be gentle with our scale. Shout out Plasma. And shout out to my muse. You know who you are. Thank you for believing in me. Um, so it's amazing the power of people believing in you, how much that can inspire you and keep you going in life. And if you haven't found yourself a cheerleader in life, somebody that says, hell yeah, you're doing great. I want to back you up. I want to help you build. And go back to the drawing board, because you need cheerleaders in your life. You need people that believe in you. It really makes such a difference. You know, I love my mom, but she had me young and she worked a lot. And so now later in life, you know, chosen family and community members have been dropped into my life. I'm so lucky to have beautiful, supportive, talented people in my life that also believe in me and think that I'm beautiful and talented and support me, because it makes such a difference. And I wonder sometimes, I mean, I kind of mourn a little bit, like how much further I could be in life, or like how different my life could be in theory, like if I had that like cookie cutter, family that like, you know, somebody was waiting for me at home after school. Like I was a latch young. And so, there were times in my life that like when I came home somebody was home, but usually it was not my mom. And it definitely wasn't my dad. Because he wasn't around. And my mom was working. And so like other family members took care of me, but I spent a lot of time by myself, like a lot of time, very young. And so I just didn't have that like, the way that I talk to my dog is the way that I wish somebody would have talked to me when I was little. Like I tell her every morning how beautiful she is and how smart she is and how lucky I am that, the universe blessed me to bring her in my life. And, if you have children in your life, you're lucky enough to have kids, treat them like the little angels and gifts that they are, because they do become adults. And we need more sympathetic and empathetic and kind adults in this world. And how do we do that? By being kind to children, right? Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. And be kind to yourself. The world is hard. It's hard out here. These structures are built to keep us apart. And this has been happening for years and years and years and years and years and years. So we have always needed community, and now we need community more than ever. Excuse you, ma'am. Can I help you? Okay. Sorry, I'm in my feelings today, rambling. Um, we need 2 eggs. There we go. Another 2 eggs. One egg. Two eggs. Set that aside. Wash my hands. Okay. Meow. We have our 2 eggs. Milk. We need 135 grams of milk. We have our Clover pasture raised organic whole milk, 135 grams. Ooh, 134.8. Oh gosh. Can we get it to 135 even? Of course not. So hard with liquid. 136.6. Okay. Take out that tonic bit. Take out that tonic bit. 136.1. 134.6. 135.5. It's so tiny. Okay. And that 0.5 is what will be like the residue in the glass. So we'll leave that there. Now we need 165 grams of sugar. And we need clean containers. We have some here. Dry them a bit. Oh, well, we can use this one for sugar, but let's make sure it's dry. Okay. Let's just take a minute to dry the other ones. How are we doing? If you're hanging out, feel free to say hi in the chat. If you're just lurking, I get it. I'm a lurker. I'm team lurker too. Um, let's see, what day is today? It's Wednesday. Wednesday? My gosh, this week is like flying by. All right, so we need 165 grams of granulated sugar. Sugar. Oh, honey, honey. We need 165. Oh, 165. Let's take our bananas. 165.7. 65.1. That's close enough. I'll take it. 0.1 is close enough for me. Close enough for me. Okay, let's lick up this banana. Right on. Keep me in there for a little bit longer, so let's give it 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Okay, we have our sugar. And then we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. One teaspoon vanilla extract. And actually, we're gonna go a little wild, and we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste and 1 teaspoon of extract. Never gets open. Be careful when you're using knives to open things. Don't ever use your teeth to open things. You can and will break a tooth. Learn from me. Now, as previously shown on this channel, sometimes a little smart is better than brute strength. So rubber bands are your friend in the kitchen. If you have a jar or a bottle or something that's tough and won't open, also this is a great way to like impress somebody with how strong you are if you want to be sneaky about it. But the rubber band's gonna help you get grip. There's something that you couldn't open before, just easily open, like you have the power of Popeye. You know why? Because of the power of a tiny rubber band. So keep rubber bands of all sizes as long as they're thick enough to like be able to grab a grip on them. You don't want like the teeny tiny rubber bands. Those have other uses in the kitchen. Okay, so we have our vanilla bean paste. We're gonna pour out a teaspoon. And then we're gonna take our extract, put it right in there. Great. Now, tiny bottles like to pour all over the place. These away. Okay, great. And so this is our vanilla extract and our vanilla bean paste. So if you're following along, these are the measurements for the wet ingredients, which is everything that we just laid out, except for the banana that's in the oven right now, right now. So we have 125 grams of unsalted butter that are softening right now. We have 165 grams of granulated sugar. We have 2 large eggs that are coming to room temperature. It calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I'm bumping that and adding also plus 1 teaspoon of vanilla paste because I think it's very complementary to the banana that's going to be the banana spice because it's basically a spiced banana cake. And then we are going to take the pineapple part and use that as either curd or frosting. I haven't decided because these are mini cakes. I might actually bring the pink pineapple into the frosting, but we might also core out little holes and just dribble some custard in there. Not custard, some curd, make some pink pineapple curd. Anyways, okay, so now let's get our dry ingredients. First, let's work our way up the list backwards. Let's get our spices in line. Oh, that's our banana. Pull our banana out. So now, with the magic of the oven, and you can even see where they're touching, how they started out as like a yellow banana, and in the oven they've been ripening. So we're gonna let these sit here and just cool down. And we're gonna actually leave them in their peels till we need them. They're gonna be mashed for the recipe, but you want to mash them like right before you put them into the mix. So we'll just leave them hanging out there on the oven for now. Okay, so we need cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, and sea salt. Cinnamon, Big thing on that thing. Okay, so sea salt. Okay, so we need half a teaspoon of sea salt. So we have our little pinch bowl. Pour the sea salt over that. Even it out. Over sea salt. Now, a quarter teaspoon of cardamom. And I have a mix of, I found cardamom pods and I ground them myself, but they can be a little strong like that. And so I ended up just mixing it with like ground cardamom from the store. And I found that to be a really nice blend of cardamom. Okay. Then we're going to do half a teaspoon because what I ended up doing was doubling what the recipe said. Because the first time I made it, I was like, no, for a spiced banana cake, this is very, well, I won't say anything disparaging, but as a Latina, let's just say different people's interpretation of spice is just different. And so I figured this could use a little bit more. So I doubled what the recipe calls for, but I did not note it. Note it. And then now two teaspoons of cinnamon. You can do that half it's better. Let's do one. So half ten. One, two, three. Okay. There were spices. Okay, we have our spices. We have our spices. Spice. Okay, we need cake flour and oat flour. So let's do 20 grams of oat flour. Grams of oat flour. 19.2. 19.9. $20.5. I'll take it. Okay, so that's our oat flour. No, 21.4. What? $20.7. 3.6. 3.4. Move that along. Okay. Now, 270 grams of cake flour. Cake, 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 cake. You need I split on me, so I'm like pulling it out in the awkward end. One became a royal mess. Don't like to. Oh, I think we still need some more flour. So let's weigh this out really quick. 186 and we need 270. So we need a little bit more. I gotta pull out more cake flour. Actually, I have to get more. So, which is fine. We aren't gonna bake right now. So what I can do is get some cake flour, put it away for delivery, and put a lid on this for now. Cover these up with the lid. Okay. that's gonna be our pausing point for now. I need to get my hands on some more cake flour or mix some, which I can do, but I'm gonna just get my hands on some if I can. And our ingredients that need to come to room temperature, they need to come to room temperature. So, hi, hello, Miss McHughes. So we're gonna call this a pause for now. I'll be back live later. Um, I'll probably try to come live on my lunch break, so like around either 11 or 12 Pacific Standard Time, California time. We'll be back live. So come back later. We'll keep working on the heart-shaped mini deconstructed hummingbird cakes. So if you haven't hit subscribe, hit subscribe. I'll be back later. Bye.